gonna do.
You got me ready to run through a brick wall this morning, Nick. Let's go.
I know. I'm curious to see how this thing does in open session for sure.
I'm pumped.
I'm thinking about. I wonder if I can add. Hold on. Let me do something. I have my TV above my computers. I don't use it much as a monitor, but I can. So I'm thinking about plugging that bad boy in, and then I'll put that one up there. I can actually watch it with you guys. At least I know that you guys are watching what I'm watching on it. I feel like scramble mode today, okay? Scramble mode. Yeah, it's worth it though, because I wanted to push this out a little faster.
Scrambled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically my brain.
Not just full screen, this one. I like the full screen. Maybe I can. Yeah.
Y'all catch me singing on a hot mic. Mind your business.
Yeah. Nothing to see here. Okay. Yeah. Nice. That's why I can like watch. I'll send a picture of that. This is what I like. I like having this TV for. So I can just put it like this. Send it to the group me. And that way I can at least see what you guys are seeing so I can go, careful on that one. Be interesting to see that one play out. Da, da, da. Remember the idea. The idea is to line it up. Take the ones that line up with what Neo's saying too, like his levels, you know. I'll turn all these off for now. Do these. I love the multi-time frame. So good. Look at you literally have a 15-second and a 1 minute. Curious to see how that plays out because it's got you in that long from the thing. Interesting. Heck yeah. Let's do it. Morning, guys. Morning, morning. Did you get it, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty cool, huh? I think this thing gonna shape up. I think to be pretty freaking awesome. And look at it. Look at it playing out over the trap and block. That's cool. Look at.
Crazy.
I know. I'm just trying to give y'all cheat codes.
You are the cheat code, brother.
Cheat codes. Not just me. Paul's a superstar. He's like partial Wizard of Oz. And then you got Alex. nothing gets done likely without Alex, because not the hard stuff, because right, Paul, usually we get it up to where it's just good enough, and then we go, shit, it's not working great, and then Alex comes into the picture, and then it works great. He fixes it in like 2 minutes.
You're my hero. Is that what you tell him?
Yeah,
He is the wizard.
it's stupid how good he fixes stuff. It's retarded.
Yeah.
Oh no, can't say that. Ooh, I didn't say that. Just kidding. Last time I got like 90-day ban.
Oh yeah, you're done, man.
Shh.
You said the
I
ban
just pray to
word.
God
Oh my
when
goodness.
artificial super intelligence comes out that they're not freaking like it's just like shooting it up. That's when the little nano contracts are going to come out because the super algorithm guy and whoever's trading the big money is going to jam it up and down 1,000 points every second.
Yeah.
There ain't no clanker out there that can beat Nick trading.
All right. Morning. Got a few minutes. I think I'm pretty good. I'm set up. Set up now, so we should be good. I'll put this on here. Put that on there. All right. We're on the right. Yeah, we're on the right side. That's why. Down, down. No, that one. Or this is. No, that's correct. Wait. It's fine. Okay. You'd be pretty good. Pretty good, I think. Let's see. We got about 5 minutes before I usually start the old TA. Let people pile on in. Yeah. I'm guessing I'm probably not gonna have a big showing from old TikTok just because it did pop up a little warning of you can't say that. Oops, it was a slip. I was born pre-80. There, the thing about that kind of stuff is I get it and I understand and all that, but there's context of things. Come on, people, context.
I mean, you're just talking about me.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on for I don't want to pick the TikTok gods to pick it up and be like, but yeah, let's get in. Let's talk to Neo, but then I want to get my little rundown first, so we'll do that also. So let's
Hey
bring on
Nick,
Neo.
ready when you are. I'm prepped to keep your bad ideas in check and maybe, just maybe, find an actual trade in this mess. What are we looking at?
I'm gonna keep your bad ideas in check. He's such a
Good
jerk.
luck, Neo.
He's such a jerk sometimes. Okay, let's take a look, guys. So last night, the Mentor VIP group, we traded, and it was a really good session. I have a couple of things that I've been working on specifically for the Mentor VIP group, and what's up, Craig? Get some sleep, man. I just saw you pop up out of nowhere. You sunburned like me, I'm sure. Uh, and so I was working on something specific to the mentor and the VIP group. So this is going to only be available for them. So we were playing with it, and I put together this indicator that basically gives you all the data you need and the setup based on how I teach, including trailing and everything else. And so we were testing it last night, and it was wild because it was just beta. I wasn't even really looking to deep dive into it, and we ended up testing it last night, and it ended up winning like what was it, like 4 wins and 1 loss, and the loss was like a 6 point move or something like that. It was stupid, and so it was really really good. And but again, I have that up on the screen for those that are Mentor VIP. They have that early beta access for it, anyways, and or Mentor, and we'll see how it goes today. But in the meantime, when we look at the chart, so last night, part of what I talk about heavily when we trade the Asia session with the team is when the market opens right there. Usually that first move, which is obviously north, is the move. It just is. And so when it pushed up, we saw the strength, played mostly longs from here, played, more longs from within here. And I think this was our last little kind of long play that we did. I think the thing called the short too, didn't it? Well, yeah, the indicator did. Um, and so it was a really, really, really good session. So it was awesome for those that joined that last night. I did not go live on TikTok last night because again, Sundays are for the Mentor VIP. So I will go live on TikTok if we get done early, but we were working on something, so I didn't end up going on there. So but played out well. So you can see usually the first move ends up the move. We played up. I did draw a potential wedge channel. You guys can see on the high time frame that we were exploring. It's kind of interesting. I didn't pull out and look at that, Cody and others, but how look at it respected it all night, that line. And so we got a lot of variables going on, guys. We have a little bit of a wedge forming. When you look at the high time frame, we'll go to the 1 hour. We have a lot going on here, but let me explain. So we got a little bit of a bearish structure. We got the bounce, called the bounce. We had a inverse head and shoulder on, I think it was right here, the 1 hour. So right there, popped up. We end up hitting right here on the trend line, and we began north from there. So why this becomes a little bit of a tricky area is we are still doing bullish things. So we had this kind of pennant that we talked about that broke out. We retested the top, and we broke out again, but could not hold that that high up there. We're getting into kind of no man's land because we have our all-time high area here with a trend that is likely going to try to defend heavily, somewhere around 540 or so. Neo last week kept pretty adamant that we would hit around 500, but things changed, so we have to kind of ignore that and get the new data. So, but the tricky part, which is why we may range, we'll see, but as long as we stay above these highs, which is that 077, then it's likely going to either consolidate or go further up. If we break that 077, then it will have a pretty good pull, especially if it pulls all the way down and then breaks that wedge, right? It'll drop it. So where this gets a little sticky is anything below here can be sent back down. Usually when you get this kind of structural break on a trend line, there is one more little like shakeout drop, but there's nothing showing that yet. As long as we stay above these certain levels, it's just not there. So if for some crazy reason news pushes us through this stuff, don't short it because it's just there's no telling how high it can go from it. So but we'll see. As always, we'll lean on Neo, and we'll see what he sees as far as lines goes. I don't really have a specific bias, long or short, necessarily, but I want to see what open does. So it's Monday. Hey, good morning, Armando. So we'll see. Let's go over to this one though. And we'll leave the trap and block on, and then let's check with Neo. Good morning. As we get ready for our US Open, can you give me the key levels that we should be watching around this area?
With MNQ at 30,216.50, Overhead resistance is the active leg high at 30,227.50. Below us, you have a support cluster with the trend line at 30,213.25, the swing midpoint at 30,203.75, and the major institutional wall at 30,187.77. Since sell pressure is currently dominating the flow, I'd watch how price handles these support levels. If that trend line breaks, the bears are probably going to try and test that institutional wall next. I wouldn't force any entries until the opening bell carnage shakes out the weak hands and gives us a clean structure to trade against.
Okay, so marking up the levels. 327 is not a lot above. Interesting. Yeah, that's all he gave us. It's just kind of marking that high within the structure here. He didn't give us much above it. What are the institutional levels that you have? Can you list out all of them so I can mark them on my chart? Diamond hands. Holding for days.
With MNQ at 30,217.25, all the institutional and gamma levels are currently sitting below us, acting as potential retest zones or downside targets. Your major institutional walls are at 30,187.77, 30,158.57, 30,147.77, 30,146.57, and 30,097.77. Think of these as the market's safety nets. If the bears actually decide to do some work and push price into this cluster, that's where buyers might try to make a stand. Just don't treat them like magic bounce spots. If the sell pressure stays heavy, those levels are just more places for price to get stuck.
There we go. Morning, guys. Thanks for joining. Let me load up. Let me load up my YouTube so I can get the comments in there, guys. Apologize. I always end up forgetting that. The way I record it, I do it on OBS, and so it doesn't show my comments. I gotta set it up to where it does. All right, so I got that in there. Good deal. Let's see that. All right, guys. So we got our levels. Oh, it's 9:19. We will see where the market takes us here, guys, and we'll do the old Neo question here in just a few. Pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see where we go. We got 10 minutes. Again, just quickly for those that are joining in on TikTok, if you want to hang around for just a little while, I'll show you a little here. So this is our website, NextStepAlgo.com. We have Neo. He's our company AI that just helps with guidance. He's got he's going to be, trading mentor, guide, signal call, trade management. He can really do anything you want. So many of you who have been around for a bit know that if you want him to do something, just ask. He's going to tell you yes or no. Pretty much that easy. And so when you go to the website, it is under TradeVision is what we will be using today. Feel free to explore other things. I'm going to refresh here. And you can kind of see on the side panel here, just kind of click a few of the options, read through them. We do have a free one that you can follow. This is the Neo. He'll give market guidance for the NASDAQ so as well. And that one's free. It's just a stream if you want to follow along. The TradeVision part does do a free 3-day trial. And so if you are interested in that, you can also do it. Monday, it's a good time to do it. So you just register, go in. It's all web-based, works on your phone, everything. So let's load them up.
Hey Nick, good to see you again. I'm locked and loaded to help you navigate this MNQ mess before the market decides to turn into a complete circus at the open. What is on the chart?
Yeah, I wanna just because I'm gonna be on this chart mostly. I'm gonna just label out this wedge just because I do want to watch this come open. I had it on my other chart, but not on this one. So just want to identify, see if this wedge ends up playing. So the low of this wedge is pretty low, 29.9. I don't know if it's going to go there or directly there. When we look at this from a structure standpoint, if you take just basic retracement, if we take our low and our high, you can see we are on a perfect tap of the 0.5. So if we lose kind of the 618 would be where, if we lose the 0.5, where it would tap again. So could get a swing down there just to reclaim that area. We also have this one. Let's check this pivot while we're waiting here. Yeah, you can see that would put around 137 if you take the overall jump structure here from that retracement. Then I would tap on that 382. Alright, so one thing that I do know historically, and this is not, it's more observation, less, TA from that, but normally when you have the Asia explosion, you get the push north, which we did. A lot of times Asia will buy, but then EU will come in and sell. And so EU kind of kept buying for the most part and consolidating at least until we got kind of into our kill zone pre-market. Then we sold. Normally that is going to tell me a lot because if kill zone and pre-market was up here, it's damn near guaranteed to be an opening drop. Because when Asia and EU and kill zone and pre-market all hold up there, US Open usually capitalizes on that. But if you look at it, our open was 140, somewhere on there, 140. I'm not going to go into the candle. And so for us to come back to try to retest that open, it's very possible. So we'll see what Neo says. Lean on him for that guidance. And yeah, guys, we'll go from there. I'm gonna stretch this out. And I'll watch that. For those that are in the Mentor VIP, we'll watch that and see how it does. But Neo, typically we ask him the famous fun question that has done so well, which is where he would send price to wreck most retail traders upon open. And he does really, really well with it. So couple of caveats for those that are new to what he does within it. The ifs, right? So you still have to kind of watch his levels because the levels do matter. So if he says I would send price up to bait in the longs before slamming it back down to let's say 187, you want to let it go up. Then you don't take the short back until it reclaims that. Then you can take it back to the 187, right? If you want to set TPs, that's fine, but don't just give up trades. Still trail things, guys. If you don't want to, I've had a couple times where it'll do this and then do this, and then people mention that they took a loss on it, and you don't want to do that. So if it gets really close, I don't set mine even at TP, even though he hits it like almost every time. I pull it up a little bit just because it's not worth it to me to that little extra couple points. So. But because there was a couple instances where he said I would slam price up to bait them and then drop it down. And then we slammed up like this, and then it just never lost that level, and we just kept going up. He doesn't have a crystal ball, so it doesn't have to break down. If it just pushes up and it stays above that level, you wait for retraces and you begin to look for your longs. Or we'll flip and start talking to him about long setups on that. And so, but let's, we got 4 minutes. Open's coming up here quickly, and we'll see what we got, guys. As of right now, like I said, everything's bullish until it's not, so. But just because it's bullish doesn't mean it can't have some kind of retracement here and there. Questions I'll answer, guys, as quick as I can as I see them. But we are going to be live trading. So we usually get a couple calls from Neo until about 10:30, 11. around 10:30 usually, and then from 10:30 to 11 I answer questions, and then we hard stop at 11 because I do trade with the VIP and mentor group after that. So, but good morning. Good morning. But yeah, as far as that indicator you guys have on the mentor VIP, just be careful in market open. So bearish. Why does Neo say bearish on the web? Neo. Well, so Neo, when you say web Neo, it confuses me a little bit. Anyways, I'm assuming you're talking about TradeVision. Are you talking about TradeVision or are you talking about sessions? There's two on there, and I gotta watch the time because I can't. I gotta pivot to that here in a minute. I'm assuming you're talking about when you say web Neo, you're talking about that one.
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
So keep in mind, he's showing sentiment is bearish on it, which at the time the sentiment was bearish. So it's going to change. Remember, you're in market open, so the market's going to go crazy. Changing. But at the time when he threw out the call, the sentiment was bearish. But you should not be taking any trades anyways. I don't even look at that stuff until after market open because it's going to shake out. So let that settle. But we have, what time is it? Almost there. 9:28 usually is when I like to do it. So all right, we are just about a minute out for market open. Where would you send price to wreck the most retail traders come US Open if you were running this book? Well, let's see.
If I were running the show and wanted to ruin everyone's day, long straight through that recent high of 30,235.5, letting all the morning retail heroes load up on longs because the buy fraction looks pretty. Then, once they're nice and trapped, I'd slam the door shut right into that bearish order block at 30305, 30310, because the institutional sell pressure is practically begging for fresh liquidity. The path of least resistance is usually the one that makes the most traders feel like geniuses before the rug pull. Watch that ORB high at 30269.5. If it fails to hold, that's your cue that the trap has been set.
That's interesting. So you gave a bait push into a bigger push. Let's see. Just so I understand that correctly, you would send it up to the 235 and then send it up to the bearish order block of the 30,305. Yeah, all those were upper target.
Bingo. That's exactly how you manufacture a classic retail rug pull. You drag price up past that 30,235.5 high to make everyone think we're off to the races, only to slam it face first into that bearish order block at 30305, 30310. It's perfect. You lure in the breakout buyers, let them get all cozy, and then the institutional sell pressure just laughs at them. If price can't hold above that, he's got the right concept, but I'm wondering. You're not seeing a breakout. You're seeing a liquidity sweep in the making.
Let me see.
Sounds like a straight jerk move.
All right. Yeah, he's not giving any kind of short thing there, so that's interesting. Which we got the push, so I'm curious if we just go straight to the 300. Yeah, let's see. The way he's saying it is can definitely be a little confusing, though. That's what I was looking on. I just am asking for clarification because the bearish order block is above where you would send drag price to. So we're expecting a potential push up into that bearish order block and then slamming it down. He's just saying it in a way that definitely is a little confusing on. So
exactly. You're basically outsourcing the heavy lifting to the bulls, letting them drag price up toward that bearish order block at 30305, 30310. If the sellers are actually home, that block acts like a brick wall and we look for the rejection. Just don't forget that institutional wall sitting at 30,258. It's basically the bouncer standing in front of the club, so expect some drama there before price even gets close to the main event at the order block. If we stall at that wall, the party might end a lot earlier than the 30,300s.
Got it. Can you give me the updated institutional gamma walls now that you have the new data for the US? Let's see where we get the new walls here. So his push north was accurate on there. I'm just watching to see if we get the continuation, because he doesn't even he's not even entertaining
With
a
price
pullback,
at
which is so interesting to me.
30,218.75, your overhead reaction zone is anchored at the gamma wall near 30,299.15. Think of that one as the bouncer telling the bulls, not today, if they get too excited. Downstairs, you've got support zones stacked at 30,209.15 and 30,189.15. Treat those as retest context rather than magic bounce pads. If the sellers actually decide to wake up, those levels are just the next logical places for price to get held up on the way down.
Okay, so we're breaking below our 235. Let's see. Interesting, because we do have a trap showing southern on there. So let's look and see. So let's adjust our walls, guys. So if we adjust these, so we got 218, 75. We got 299 now, so it's 299.15. And then we have 209. We'll do 209 and then 189. All right, and then we have, he didn't give us anything lower. So I'm going to take these out.
185 is the 50% of the last 1 hour leg.
Gotcha. Yeah, we bounced right off that 189. So reclaim on that 235 would jump pretty hard. Got it. Can you give me a long and short potential setup? If you only see one as the potential, let me know what that is.
The short setup is currently cleaner given the heavy bearish structure score in institutional flow, but here is how both pads look. For the short, I'd wait for price to break down and hold below 30,200.00 with a 1-minute candle close confirmation.
So 200.
If that confirms, the first meaningful reaction is near 30,185.50, and a failure back above 30,213.25 is the first warning. Structural invalidation is a reclaim of the 30,233.21 institutional pivot. For a long, it's high risk since we're fighting institutional sell pressure. It only becomes worth considering if price reclaims and holds above 30,233.21. If that happens, 30,259.15 is the first upside target. Failure back below 30,200.00 would structurally invalidate.
Look at all these traps thing populating. Like we're like ping-ponging in the traps right now. Well, his short is the cleaner path is playing out pretty well. Confirm signals in my Telegram. That sounds legit. Yeah, let's see. So we're testing that low right now, the block. The 189 is what has to hold. Let's see. If that 189 breaks, what is another low? Is there any other institutional levels below that?
If 30,189.15 breaks, the next major downside wall is at 30,139.15. For that short to have any teeth, I need a 1-minute close below 30,189.15. Otherwise, you're just inviting a liquidity sweep that traps your shorts and rips back up. Watch that 30,189.15 level like a hawk. If sellers can't keep it down there, that primary gamma wall is going to turn into a trampoline for the bulls.
Okay, so let's watch it. So it's holding that 89 like friggin' crazy. So we have a 139 as our low. We have a 299 as what he gave us as our potential upper. And so let's see if we can burst through these order blocks or if we're just going to range. Again, We're still mostly bullish until we're not, but a retest of 139 would actually validate what I was saying earlier on the fibs. But his first directional move was more push into that 300 area, so I was curious to see if we get into there, but right now we're just kind of trapped in between the gamma walls, it looks like. So let's watch and see. If we can break through one or the other. So your safer short's going to be break and hold from there would be there, break and hold from there would be there. It's the way I would read that. Oh, I just saw what the potential for the other one is. For the new one. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. The buyers are stepping in. It seems like they want to push it to the northern side first. Maybe they do get to that 300 range like you said and then slam it down. See, they can't break it though. So this is an important pull.
The buyers are certainly trying to drag this up to the 30259, 30269 resistance block, probably just to lure in some optimistic longs before slamming it back down. If they front run that liquidity and get rejected, I'd watch for a breakdown and a 1-minute candle close back below 3210.00 to confirm
yeah, we're
the
just
crash.
raging. I don't know.
If
Is
they
anybody
just keep
trading?
blasting through
Hold on.
3269.1.
I made him. Has anybody been just scalping the up and down like that? The range that he called for the high and the low has just been freaking money. If you're scalping them up and down, shoot, that's 50-point moves. 45. So I want to see how this acts for me to determine which side is going to truly break. So we have that. We end up hitting our 618 and we're reclaiming. If we reclaim the 382, it should try to push here. His lean is more bearish, so be careful. A break below the 189 is going to send us to the 139. A break above the 235 will send us to the 299. There's a lot of bearish order blocks here that are playing out. So you got to be really, really careful here. So it seems like we might get the ladder here. Let's see. Yeah, the bears ended up driving that down. So we're trying to break the 189 here. Does it look like a potential trap, or you think we might go? What's your data showing you?
The bears are trying, but they're currently face planting into a 5 minutes bullish order block. 30,185.50 to 30,194.00. And primary gamma support at 30,179.15. That's the classic recipe for a trap where shorts get sucked in right before a bounce. Unless it can actually shove through that gamma wall at 30,179.15, the bears might find themselves on the menu. I wouldn't trust the breakdown until it confirms below that support. Otherwise, it's just the market trying to see how many shorts it can bait before the next move.
The tap and drop on the 89 there. Interesting. The bulls are trying to come in though. Yeah, for me, I'm not taking the shorts, just so you guys know. I'm just watching it. If it comes down here and hits it, then I'll bounce that, but I'm not taking them on there for now. When he says stuff like that too, like you know, the pull is to lure the shorts in. I mean, it's Monday, right? They're gonna have hard traps on both sides. Just what they do. Let's see that. If you were in that short that he called here, that close would have been there. We did pull down about 20 points, so hopefully you're trailing it. Not every move is going to be massive, guys. So if we can push back through, so what it's testing right now, the reason why I'm hesitant on it, but the short, but although we could pull again, I want to watch this 50, but I don't like the way the pivots are lining up in this kind of wedge form. It sets up a pretty big trap usually. See the continued push here. Yeah, so let's look and see. Again, I'm mostly long as I'm above these areas here. I'm just waiting for it to pull and then jumping. You don't have to take every trade, guys. Always remember that.
Yeah, we basically held that 1 hour 50% retrace too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were right on that, where they swept that 189 and then quickly shifted it back. Being Mondays, I know they like to trap the high, trap the low. We almost have like a perfect measured swing above the 235 at open and a perfect measure below the 189. And now we're kind of in the mix. So I feel like they did that to trap both sides.
You're not wrong. They're running a total liquidity buffet today, serving up trapped shorts at the lows and now setting the table for trapped longs at the highs. With price stuck right in the middle between the 30,179 support zone and the 30,239 resistance wall, trying to force a trade here is just begging to get chopped up for pocket change. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole until price shows its hand. I'd rather wait for a clean rejection at that 30,239 resistance to hunt the liquidity back down, or let it reclaim and hold above 30,239 for the next expansion. Trying to guess the middle of this mess is just donating your account to the market's coffee fund.
Got it. So for a long setup, you'd want to break and hold above the 239. What would the target be? Let's just shift that. So I want to see some strength. Right now we're just oscillating, guys. See the oscillation? I want to see a strength. So for us to break any kind
The
of oscillatory wedge,
30,239 level is buried right in the middle of that overhead gamma resistance
we have to
block.
hold that.
30229, 30249. So calling it a breakout
Good
there is
job.
just asking to get trapped. For a clean long, I'd wait for a 1-minute candle close and hold above 30,249.00 to make sure the bulls are actually in charge. If that confirms, your first target is that 30,299.15 gamma wall. Failure back inside the 30229, 30249 resistance zone is your first warning, and structural invalidation is a confirmed loss of the 30,165.25 active leg low.
Okay. So what I'm watching is this, guys. We have the 50, the push on the 189. If this can push up with any kind of steam, it'll jump. But if we lose the 189, it's going to come for another oscillation down. So mostly ranging. See the little dom jumps. Let's see if any of those decide to hold.
Well, they're trying for sure.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't. You got to lean more bullish than bearish on it, guys, just because of the way that the structure is. Although we are sweeping pretty well. Let's see here. We know that this 139 is a possibility, though, so we could channel to it and then get the push as possible. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. We're getting some deep pulls though. It's just strange trading right in the range of the all the gamma stuff. See you, Jetty. And hold and jump, or we're gonna drop. Let's see. Nice little rejection. Again, see, we still got that that wedge going on though. It's set up for a pretty decent sweep. This has got to create a lower low though. If this don't create a lower low and it gets another green reclaim, it's gonna jump pretty good. '89 was a big one. See how it respects the close above the doji. Yeah, we got the doji here. Little push. Got an ugly looking flag here, so if it can break through there, it's got to create a decent higher high with expansion. Otherwise, it'll fail and drop. What do you show the institutions doing? Are they buying or selling on your data? Let's see what they say here. Guys, I'm also just observing the candles because Monday we got to kind of get the sentiment here.
The data is playing a bit of a tug of war here. The actual institutional flow bias is showing buy pressure and a positive trend, but the system is still flagging a conflict because we're currently stuck below the institutional pivot at 30,225.85. It's like the institutions are trying to buy the dip, but the pivot is currently acting like a ceiling they can't quite clear. I wouldn't bet the farm on that buy pressure until price can actually reclaim and hold the 30,225.85 area. Until then, it's just conflicting signals keeping things choppy.
Interesting. So remember, they were selling Friday, but they're showing buy pressure now, which is why I'm like I said, I was definitely being a little more cautious on my shorts. Trying to break that channel. See this? So this is your structural channel. This is a higher low hold with the push. This has got to create expansion. If it can't do it in the next few candles, then you'll get the weakness. Flip the other way. Now that we have institutions flipping to bullish, do you see anything shifting in the structure that would validate us wanting to prioritize longs? Let's see what he says. Lot of trap and blocks right here too.
What what Mr. Davis is reaping on.
The institutions finally got the memo. So yeah, prioritizing longs is back on the menu, but don't get reckless.
Yeah,
We're
it's a
still
little
sitting
tricky
right under that resistance zone at 30,236.39. I'd want to see a 1-minute candle close and hold above 30,236.39 to confirm they aren't just bluffing. If that sticks, your next stop is the major wall at 30,246.79. If it slips back below the 30,229.05 reaction level, that's your first warning that the breakout is stalling, and a confirmed loss of the 30,214.02 institutional pivot officially uninvites the bulls to the party.
We have a perfect 382 bounce into absorption, guys. That's validating what we wanted as of now. I'm in my longs, so I'm going to start trailing my rungs now. Coming into a decent block, so I'm going to trail out some of this here. Pretty tight. If it gets it, it gets it, but still trailing it. Anybody in the long from it, from the flip? Because the structure was there, yeah. You guys from the mentor group should have seen that, right? We had the parallel structure with the higher low hold, push, 382 bounce into absorption, expansion. Now, be careful trying to take it too far because we're coming into just so many bearish order blocks, unless it continues to act bullish. And so let's see. I know some people took this short move early and then they flipped and took this long move. But I know we have a lot of bearish resistance up here. What would we need to see for another long setup to be worth jumping in?
I love it when the market treats traders like a yo-yo, flipping long and short just to keep the blood pressure exciting. If you want to jump back into the long side despite those bearish institutional bears lurking overhead, I would not trust the entry while price is just sitting in this purgatory. I would only consider the long if price reclaims and holds above the 30,236.39 upside reaction zone with a 1-minute candle body close. If that confirms, the first meaningful target is 30,246.79.
That's not
Failure
very
back
big.
below 30,236.39 is the first warning that the breakout is stalling, and a confirmed loss of the 30,216.39 support wall would structurally invalidate the long idea.
Yeah, that target's a little too tight for my taste. So what would I need to get above that to give me a little bigger target for the long? Or what do I want to see it pull back to give me a better positioning for my long? Again, if he gives you a tight target, there's a reason, right? So let's just always challenge it.
I feel you. Nobody likes trading for pennies when the market acts like a caffeinated toddler. If you want a juicier target, you have to earn it by clearing the 30,246.15 gamma resistance first. If buyers can actually hold above that, the next realistic objectives are the ORB high near 30,265.75 and then the prior day high at 30,287.25. For better positioning, I would stop chasing the breakout and wait for a retest of that gamma support zone near 30,236.39, as long as it doesn't fold like a long chair. Just keep in mind that institutional flow is still throwing a tantrum on the sell side, so confirmed price structure is your only real friend right now.
Okay, so 265 is kind of the next speed bump it's talking about. A lot of resistance in there as well. I'm still trailing mine. I trailed out some of the rungs, but...
And you know what's funny is all those numbers are literally the 50% retracement of a leg on the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 hour.
Yeah, he's breaking them all down.
Yeah, I saw it shoot that one play, and it just didn't ever reach it because it was supported on the 1 hour 50% retracement above it. And I saw that and took it to the 5-minute 50% retracement. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so far it's all definitely playing out on it. So I'm waiting to see how this treats it. So again, we're holding that same level. So if you look, this is our 382 hold into a push, pull. If we hold the 236 and we absorb again, then it will jump. If we lose the 236 and the 382, then we'll get a deeper pull. But as of right now, you have good push with good retracement out of a channel, good expansion with a decent retracement, but weak expansion here. That's what I'm looking at here. So we're getting a little weak expansion, but it's still trying to hold that kind of lower level from within here. As of now, you guys can see if you just really zoom out, this was our into open. We are just up, down, consolidating. So what I found was interesting, if you heard me say it to Neo earlier, we swept from the high we had here to there to the low we had here to there is pretty equal. So that tells you right there that we are likely going to try to consolidate for a bit. Now we're just trying to determine, are we going to break out one way or the other? So, but for me, like I said, I'm more inclined to lean long than short for it, but we'll see. So we got another good bounce right where we needed it. A close above here should give expansion. If it doesn't give expansion, it's going to have a pretty deep inverse. That would be your 50 from this pull pivot. So let's look and see. But we're still getting, see how we're getting absorption. Not really screaming sells, so unless they try to flip the script on them. It's testing that 39. Yeah, that would be ideal, is what he wants for the entry. Or a pullback. If I get a pullback here like this and they can reclaim, that could be another setup. But it's tricky because mostly all these trap and blocks, right? But like this one right here just got invalidated. So they're trying to invalidate those orders. His original call, if you guys remember, was up to the bearish order block at 300. And so the way this is structuring is more likely to get to there than not. But we're consolidating. So it's got to break out of the consolidation. Otherwise, you'll have the flip the other way. But regardless, you know, I haven't taken any of the shorts on it. Taken some good long scalps, but.
Does it look like an air flag you setting up?
Well, if you zoom in really, really minute, but I'm not worried, but see this is what I was talking about. We're parallel with a higher low hold and a push and a retest, but it's not creating expansion. It's got to create expansion on that. So, because if you take the low and the high here, that's our 50, 209. If we break below that 209, it's going to consider it as a collapse and it's going to come down.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's struggling to break it. These order blocks are, as many of you guys know, man, those order blocks are legit. They are strong. What was our high? 54?
If you got nervous to steal, dude, I'd have been out of that trade already.
Oh, I'm up on mine, so I'm just playing with equities. So and I'm not crazy with high volume, so it doesn't matter. Remember, when I trade, guys, I do a lot of defensive laddering because of the fact that I gotta watch the charts, watch Neo, watch the comments, watch the. It's not as easy to just trail things. So I just find my directional bias, and then I'll play it through laddering. So we're getting the trap and block. We're into a potential bull flag also right here too. So let's see. If it can break through now, it's gonna really go because it's a bull flag. Funny though, the structure is definitely complementing the thesis here, but it's just taking longer than it should. Let's see. Definitely looks like the bears are trying to defend that bearish level, but I'm seeing some micro bullish patterns forming. Do you think these bullish patterns have what it takes to play out? Or any traps that you're suspecting? Let's see what he says.
The bears are clinging to that 30,245 resistance like it's the last lifeboat, while the bulls are definitely poking the hornet's nest inside that 5 minutes bullish order block. These micro patterns are tempting, but they have all the authority of a fake ID until price actually clears and holds
fake
above the
ID.
30245, 30246
it's
institutional
failing
wall.
to hold
I wouldn't
it.
bet the farm on these bullish patterns just yet. If price tags that wall and rejects, you're looking at a classic trap for late buyers. I'd wait to see if the bulls can actually conquer the wall before deciding if this is a breakout or just another classic MNQ head fake.
We're still above that validation area, though. Let's see. There's just so much resistance up here that's just struggling to get through. Let's see. What you wanna do, buddy? See that fake out right there? There you go. A little absorption. Interesting. Interesting. Notice how this is pretty close. See how it's sweeping the 50? It's trying to break it. A lot of bearish stuff up above though. That's the only thing. Every push that it tries to do, or it has to break, like the critical parts, it's not as of right now. But the 89 is going to be the big one. Yeah, see how it when you have this structural play, it's got to create a higher high. If it loses it, it's inverse. This tried to create a little bull flag, also collapse. We couldn't get a pull through it, so you're interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting. I just don't I don't know that I trust the pulls on it, so but it's definitely looking like they're trying to shake out. Now remember, Mondays are a little tricky, guys, because Mondays are going to shake north, shake south, set up bear traps, bull traps. You know, Monday's setting the week right there. They're out setting a stop hunt right now. We got a little weakness there from the bulls. You think they're setting up a bear trap here? Let's see what Neo thinks.
Bears are definitely throwing a tantrum on the sell side, but we're currently parked inside a 5 minutes bullish order block, so yeah, this smells like a potential bear trap. It's a classic setup. They bait the shorts into the order block and then, if the bulls can actually wake up, the rug pull goes the other way. I wouldn't trust the trap until I see a 1 minute bullish candle close and hold above that 30,213.25 trend line. If that confirms, the first upside reaction zone is 30,235.08. Slipping back below 30,213.25 is the first warning that the bulls are just bluffing, and if the 30,165.25 order block low gets nuked, the bear trap thesis is officially toast.
Let's see. So 213 is where he thinks that the trap would be set and it would flip. So let's watch that target level. What is the most important institutional levels we should be watching as far as whether they're going to defend or kind of the reaction zones, I guess, major support, major resistant levels?
If you are hunting for the lines where the big players might actually show up to defend their turf, the overhead resistance starts right at the 30,235.08 gamma wall, with the major institutional resistance stacked just above it at 30,244.68. On the downside, the major institutional support is a long way off at 29,995.24, so don't expect a sudden safety net anytime soon. Just keep in mind that these institutional levels aren't magical force fields. They're just liquidity zones where the market might get a bit indecisive. So don't be shocked if price blows through them like they are made of wet tissue paper if the momentum is strong enough.
So guys, interesting, this 89 is his reaction zone too that he was watching earlier. You can see we got a deep little rejection off of our 50, push pull. This type of setup, when you have the rounded 50 hold pull, it's got to create a lower low than here. It's got to sweep it. If it pushes through and reclaims 213, he's right. It would be invalidation, and then we would jump. So, but as of right now, the structure's supporting it should create that lower low. So if it doesn't, and we inverse and reclaim that, then we get the inverse jump on it. So, but that's kind of what I'm watching. See if they're setting the old bear trap here again. But right now we're just ranging, which the morning open kind of showed us we would do that. Let's see if we higher low this one. There. Buyers are trying to come in. That newer indicator mentor group, if you're watching it, I saw it hasn't thrown anything yet, which is good. It's being patient. I didn't want it to keep throwing trades out left and right. So we're still suppressing here, guys. What was the gamma wall level that you gave us around the 189? There was something around there. Just want to see if it updated.
That 30,189.75 level you're thinking of isn't actually a gamma wall. It's the top boundary of that bullish order block. 30,165.25 to 30,189.75. It's super easy to get those mixed up when the chart is throwing so much data at you, but for the actual gamma walls, the closest levels are the 30,195.08 resistance just above current price and the 30,120.16 support wall down below. I'd stick to watching that order block for signs of life before looking for magic gamma numbers.
See the push. Telling you, I want to see if this plays trap. Plays out like the trap. I'm thinking it is. We'll see. See the sweep here? They've done it now twice, but we created the lower low, but we didn't sustain it. And so now we're pushing to see if the buyers can kick back in. It's a retest of the 89 for now. This would be our 50, somewhere up into that 209. If you take the pivot that it's pushing through, yeah, we're kind of testing that 50. So any kind of push through here would give a little propulsion. So let's look and see.
Is that 50% line that area where you want like to place trade?
I just want this to, because this is a bearish structure that should create a lower low. It did create a lower low. So it did what it's supposed to do. But I'm looking for the invalidation because I think they're setting up bear traps like Neo even said. And so if it is going to be the bearish, it should not reclaim that 50. And see how we're reclaiming it. Now 213 is where he said the trap would be set, if you're following it that way. So it's going to test that 213, and then it should have a pretty deep invalidation the other way. You can see it's playing out, guys. So for many of you know me, and I began studying more trap-like behavior a while ago. And that's where I love to play these traps. And so that's why I don't mind holding things that I have when it looks to me very apparent that they're going to set a potential trap. And so, which this looked like it to me. So now we're just testing. Isn't it cool though, the levels he gives, those 213, and that's right where it's stalling. So if it gets a 1 minute candle close above 213, we'll likely push because, like he said, it's going to invalidate the trap, or validate the trap. I mean. So we're getting that push and the close. Should be pretty close to the 1 minute. I just don't know if the 1 minute body is above it. But I have one rung that I got in there that I'm debating where I want to trail it at. That's why I'm watching. But let's look at the one. Yeah, so we haven't quite closed above it yet. 30 seconds. It would have to stay up here for 30 seconds. Then we get it. The buyers came in pretty hard there, just like you were thinking on the bear trap. Let's see if they can get it over the 213. If they do, would you expect some decent volatility north? So this little pull is going to be important on where it
The bulls
holds.
actually showed up to the party. We are already trading above that 30,213.25 level, so the focus now shifts to
Not
holding
anymore.
this support. If we keep it steady here, the next major migraine for the longs is that 30,235.08 gamma wall. If the bulls can punch through that level with real conviction, then yeah, things could get spicy to the upside. Just don't get too
Spicy.
comfy. The bears love to lure longs in right at resistance, so let's see if the buyers actually have the volume to clear the wall or if they're just blowing bubbles.
Right now it's a 236 hold, so that's good. That's a good show of strength on the bulls. If they can get the close above, they'll get expansion. But as of right now, it's pretty decent strength. See if they get that close. There's the push. Should get the close if we get it another. Now the 35 is what he keeps referring to as a pretty good level, so just be careful on that one. So I got a couple accounts that was in on that one, so let me check where those levels are. That one. Let's see if it holds and wants to get that jump. Yeah, we're trying to, it hasn't quite got that close above it. It keeps trying to push a little, but that's why I'm kind of watching the DOM, but it looks like it's gonna, that's what I'm watching though. Got some little strength. The bears are dropping it for sure, but we're getting micro DOM jumps. Little price jumps, let's see. Yeah, if I can get to that 35 again, even 39. We get to the 54, but the 35, 39, then my ladder's looking pretty. Pretty. Remember, guys, the more worst days I've had went long a little earlier. Oh yeah, that's why I mentioned earlier I was. And I'll cover it here in a second. I'm watching this, but you always want to, like, if you notice, I even said I'm not taking the shorts just because I don't trust them. Now we could still drop, and it doesn't matter if you're long or short if your volume is low enough, but you have to identify the fact that we are still consolidating. So if you think about it, we're just in a consolidation is all we are. And so I'm just trying to see how it's going to hold this 213 to see if we get the push to the 235 that he said. 213 to 235. So what we want to see, we got a good clean close above our high. I want to see this get the high with expansion. This is a bearish order block here, so it's going to be a pain. But how this holds is important, because if it holds here and buyers come in quickly, then we know it's likely to give expansion, because we have good retracement with expansion with the hold of the high, which will give deeper expansion. That's mostly what I'm waiting on to watch. But if we end up getting a collapse, it still could pull back and be bullish all the way to here, 189 again. But if we lose that 189 again, it's going to probably be pretty deep. This is our little healthy pullback from a failed top. I want to see if I get any absorption here. Looks like the sellers are trying their best to drive this down. Do you think they might have enough to push it out of this bullish potential? Let's see what he says.
Up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yes, we're guaranteed to go up or guaranteed to go down. Oh, that one caught the short and it's trailing it. You guys see that?
The bears are definitely throwing a tantrum, but they're currently punching a wall of institutional support at
So there's our
30,203.89
382.
until they can actually drag price below that pivot and get a candle close underneath it. This bullish potential is just taking a nap, not dead. If they manage to lose that level, then yeah, the bulls might want to rethink their life choices. But for now, it's a standoff. The sellers have the volume, but the structure is still holding onto that support like a nervous teenager holding onto a railing.
That's funny.
All right, that one wasn't that great. Nervous teenager hanging on to it.
Right. So we got the failed push here with the absorption close below. So it brings us back. I want to see anything that holds 382, reclaims 236 will jump hard. If we lose this, it's going to hit the 0.5. We can get to the 618, which is fine. If it sweeps that and reclaims that, it just validates even more strength. But so far right now, we're a healthy pullback. So again, if you take the overall open, guys, we have lower highs, lower lows, just to be clear. I'm just looking to see if we're going to get any kind of shift into the trap that he was talking about earlier. But we just have so much resistance above us, which is why I'm not surprised that we're getting little pulls here and there. See what time we got? 10:20. Good deal. Yeah, it's a Monday. That's just how Mondays work. The chops. I love chops because I'm more top and bottom. So this thing can chop all day. But continuation traders, you probably are not loving the chops. So we're losing the 382. It's got to hold the 0.5 or at least the 618, or it's going to be interesting. But 189, remember, was a pretty good level. He's been talking about it most of the day. So still getting that pull. There's the 618. I got to see buyer absorption here soon. Or are they going to lose it? Dun, dun, dun. In the pull.
It's going to come down to lower.
These trapping blocks, man, I tell you, those things are, every time I see those above, it's always like, oof. Well, and that's where we got a perfect tap on the 786. That's the lowest of the fib. If it breaks that, then absolutely. Structure-wise, again, we cannot ignore. We are a lower low, a lower high, but it's kind of even wide channeling as well for the day. And so that's part of my, where you think about it, should it create the lower low? Yes. If it does come down, structurally it's supporting it should. If it does come down and creates any kind of higher low and shifts though with any kind of violence, that would be your trap set. So that's kind of what I'm watching to see if we get this higher low here. I expected a pullback. It had a lot of strength in the push pull here, but this was weak expansion and we did come out of a bearish drop block. So you don't really want to long into these blocks. You want to let it pull a little bit. So I thought the 382 would probably hold, but we did not. So we might get a possible little low here. Or we may just continue to consolidate. We're going to find out here in a second. Let's go see. Bears are continuing to push. We are basically just consolidating today. When do you expect the bulls might try to kick in? So we're just above that low there now. So let's see if we get any kind of push.
The bears are definitely the ones polishing their boots today, and this market is more stuck in a dryer than just consolidating. If you're looking for the bulls to wake up, they aren't doing it while we're trapped in this controlled bearish bounce. I would only trust a bullish kick in if price can actually reclaim and hold the active leg 50% level at 30,196 and then clear the institutional pivot at 30,219.24. Until they clear that hurdle, this is still a bearish drag, and I wouldn't bet the farm on the bulls just yet.
Okay, so now he wants it. He wants it to reclaim 196 and then get a clear above the 219 before he would take a long. So let's move that to the 219. If you're not already in stuff flattering. Oh, look at that, guys! The trade that this thing worked. Look at it; it played out. It's trailing it, almost hit TP. I just looked up. That's cool. We're gonna explore that more this afternoon. I'm excited.
Yeah, that was so close to hitting the TP on that.
Mm-hmm. Really close. Well, remember I said earlier this morning too, you want to always put it a little bit shorter than that. Don't. If you went a little shorter, you would have smacked out for sure. Which is going to be important because we definitely can still come down, but we're in a consolidation low with a slight higher low versus a slight lower low. So if we can break through certain things, we're going to have another oscillation leg up. So 194 would be that mid leg, the midpoint for that leg. So I'd want to see it get a close and hold above that, and then we'll spring back up to the upper. That 219, 239 he's talking about. But we're not there yet. We are getting some buyers coming in a bit. See those little jumps? They're trying. Trying their best. No, not necessarily. It should. The structure is supporting a low. We had Neo has a 139 as a likely defended low. I'm not taking shorts on it. We're above some key levels that I just don't like to be short in. So Mondays like to trap at times. They sweep high, sweep low, consolidate. It's all stop hunts. And so right now, currently we have the lower high, slight lower low. So I'm looking to see if this holds a higher low and reclaims the 50% of that leg. If it does, then it's likely still trapping south and going to jump north. But if we stay below it, then yeah. I mean, theoretically, right now we're slightly downtrending from it. So let's see how this reacts on the next double tap here. But 139 is what he expected it to hit. Okay, so we got our low from it. How that reacts is huge, guys. Because the last couple times we've swept it and then shot it pretty good. So if it can absorb in, close, and push, that'll be the trap that I was kind of suspecting. But we're getting some DOM jumps north, or price jumps, however you interpret it. And that's why I'm kind of just watching, but it still has to clear some hurdles. So I still have my long in there from the profit I'm playing, but it's playing kind of defensive laddering, low volume, so it's not anything I'm worried about. But let's see. They're still driving the price down, but I'm getting some price jumps every now and then for the buyers trying to come in. Any signs of the bears getting weak at all? That's an on ES too, yeah. Again,
those little buyer jumps you're seeing are just the bears stubbing their toe on that 5 minutes bullish order block. 30,160.50 to 30,214.00. The bears aren't getting weak yet, they're just dealing with some support clutter. To prove the bulls are actually kicking in, price needs to reclaim and hold above the immediate institutional resistance at 30,202.06 and clear the trend line at 30,213.25. If the 30,160.50 support holds,
Potential.
the bears are going right back to work on the 30,122.22 gamma support. Want to map the trap setup I watched before trusting the bullish reclaim?
Yeah, that'd be great. Again, it's got to clear certain things, you know. Expansion to the 139 is what
To catch the bulls
has to
in a
be
trap
expected,
setup,
but
I'd wait for price
I'm
to
not
flush
taking
into
it.
that 30,160.505 minutes order block and then show a sign of life. The long only gets interesting if price can reclaim that zone and print a 1-minute bullish candle close back above the 30,192.22 institutional wall. The first target is the 30,218.04 pivot. Failing back below 30,160.50 is the first warning, and a confirmed loss of the 30,122.22 gamma support invalidates the whole rescue mission.
Yeah, so you guys see the sweep, the pull, 50% hold. If we can get a close above that, then it's beginning to validate what I thought on it. We are in an upward on our oscillator there, so that's looking like it. This push has got to clear. If it pushes and then sweeps, it's going to the 139. So let's see how much the sellers defend that 189 area. You guys see the... We'll see how that plays out too. It got that short, trailed out in profit, and then I want to see if it gets this one. It's not really a bad setup, but stop is pretty tight too for the most part. Well, let's see.
Wait, what was that you just flashed?
I'll show you later. It's only for the mentor group, so I don't want to go deep into it. It's an indicator that's going to only be slowly for them. Well, them and BIP. But it's only barely beta, so that's why I'm not showing it. They are the group that helps me test the beta part, so... Yeah, nothing's going to be direct. I mean, we're hitting a lot of bearish stuff, so all these blocks here. I was expecting, so Neo was talking about at some point getting up into these kind of 280 to 300 range for the bearish block. And so I'm wondering if they're going to try to sweep it, maybe get one more little hoorah before they try to sweep it. Let's see. Again, it's trying to hold, but it hasn't cleared it yet. But see that little dom jump again? I'm watching that mostly, so let's see. But you have to fully expect that we would get to 139. Again, it's bullish till it's not, it's bearish till it's not. And so right now it's still bearish, at least in this progression from the open. So we want to look at our leg pivot there, and you can see if we get above 192, then it's going to be the trap I thought. See the buyers coming again, that jump. That jump is what I keep watching. So let's see if it can clear it now. If it does, up we go. And it was the trap. Because again, guys, we're just oscillating. It's just a Monday. Mondays love to oscillate like this. It's just what they do. Okay, let's see if we get the expansion. You can kind of see the ugly looking diamond too on the play. So that should give us the expansion we're wanting. Okay, so we want to fib out the inverse just to see. So you can see right now it's on the 618. If we can hit here and pull, which we just did, to the 50, and then close above the 618, we'll get deeper expansion. So that's what we want to watch now. Just see how the retracement acts on there. It's a nice little breakout so far. Let's see if we get the bigger pull. Yeah, those jumps that I was talking about look like they finally played out. They ended up taking it back here short term, at least, for the bull side.
Stuck with the 1 minute listener right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
The Bulls got their participation trophy for that little jump, but let's not call it a party just yet. They're currently smashing their faces into the 3210.07 gamma wall, which is exactly where the bears have been waiting to reload. The swing structure is still leaning bearish, and this bounce is just hitting the 50% reclaim area, a classic controlled bearish bounce spot. If the Bulls actually want to keep their lunch money, they need to punch through that 30,210.07 wall and hold it. Until then, treat this as a liquidity sweep for the bears until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. And so if we get a good, I'm watching to see if it holds that 189 from earlier. It looks like it's trying to, and that should give expansion for a test through that 210. So again, if you're thinking about something, guys, if you're not familiar with Neo, just ask him, and he will tell you, validate what you're thinking or not.
The Bulls are trying to keep the heartbeat going off that 30,190.07 gamma support, but don't get too comfortable. We're still swimming upstream against a bearish swing structure. A long is only worth considering if price defends 30,190.07 and clears the 30,215.58 institutional pivot.
And they keep shifting those pivots.
That 30,215.58 wall. A breakdown back below 30,190.07 is the first warning, and losing the 30,168.50 order block totally invalidates this bounce mission. Since the institutional flow is conflicting with the bearish bias, treat this as a show me the money scalp, not a retirement plan.
Look at the structure, guys. This got a nice little trend line. Got here, got a lot of weaker lows, and we're getting a decent little push. So we'll see if it holds. Structure-wise, we got a push with a good pull of strength, but we have weak expansion as of now. So not quite done until it breaks the 50, which would be somewhere around there, anyways. This is a decent line here, so if we end up breaking this, it would try to push pretty good, but anything that stays below that 215 could sweep again, but we're really just consolidating. And this is, guys, those of you who know, good job, guys. Those of you who know, oh yeah, look at it's trailing it, like, this thing's gonna be sick, guys. Look at the long it called. Good job on that, Paul.
And I'm looking. Like I said, it was holding the 1 hour 50%.
Yeah.
If you look at the 1 hour chart, the 15-minute chart, it's nothing but bottom wicks, and there wasn't any bottom. There wasn't any body closures below it. So
yeah,
beautiful confluence.
Yeah, that I'm telling you, man, that I think we're onto something with that indicator. It's gonna be really helpful for you guys. That sucks, Sir King. Yeah, I don't know if you're a breakout trader or what, but you gotta, if you're long or short, if your volume is low enough, right, you would be out of it, because we really just oscillated unless you're perfect at grabbing each top and bottom, which is usually a breakout trader trait. Breakout traders don't really like these type of days. These are not breakout trader type days. Not yet. Not until we at least break out of this. So let's see. I'm gonna watch that one though. I want to see where it trails. It's got it at break even now. I mean, I'll put it up for you guys for now, just to show you. It's just beta. I just want to show you. So this is an indicator I built for. Kind of takes a lot of my logic that I do trading, and I built it for the Mentor VIP group solely. I will not be selling this one. So if you're in VIP and Mentor, you will get it. If not, you will not. I probably won't trade with it much in the mornings. Every now and then, we'll see. Maybe we'll pick a day that we do it, just as examples. But so far, it's been working well. Look, it even shows you where to trail. See how it just trailed it? Oh, kicked it back and didn't like it from the close. Interesting. But again, it's beta. It's like beta. So just be careful trying to follow. That's why I'm not really eager to show it, because I've already talked to them about it. But right now it's got a trail on the break even already. So we'll see if it break even trails or if it jumps. It keeps thinking about putting the trail up, but then it don't like it. We'll see where it pulls it. If it just gets on break even. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, good job on that, Paul. Right now, guys, it's just, again, we are wedging south. It's trying to determine, is it going to break it north or not? I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's a pretty decent little wedge forming here. I can draw it out if you like for the visuals. I don't like to put too much more lines on my chart, but you can see it kind of forming something like this. So, and then you can kind of Ganfan it like a teach y'all, which would be something like that. And so wedges typically break up, but we have to see it hold certain things to get that break up. But I'll leave this on for now so you guys can see how it's going to work. But again, it's super, super beta, so it just is really cool because I only did like an early pass on it, and I didn't even want to show these guys last night because it was so early. And I was looking at it and I'm like, dang, this actually looks really good for like a first pass, really. And so we traded in Asia last night and we took every single one that went across, and we crushed it. It was like, I think it had one loss of a 6-point loss, and then it had like, what was it, like 120 point win, 140 point, and another 40 point, I think, or 30, something like that. It was good. So we're getting the hold that we need for the expansion, because it would also be a retest of here, right? Which you can take as kind of an ugly inverse head and shoulder, so we'll see. You can see the trails there, so it's already got you at break even. If it smacks break even, then you're just out. Not all trades will be massive. But I know the hardest thing in trading, guys, is to determine entry, exits, TPs, stop losses, invalidations, when to get out of the trade, when to trail it. And so I put all of it together, and then I'm going to kind of keep playing with the dashboard here. So the dashboard is going to show things like we're in an active long. It's a C structure rating, so it's not really an A or B. It's only a C. The strength right now is not real strong on the bulls side, but we'll see if we get a little flip. Momentum's fading a little. And then it's just going to show kind of your net points. So you can see for today, it is up 66 points right now. And then US has a -7, but I'm not, again, don't look at these numbers much because I only had one pass, so I haven't even tested them to see if they're accurate on it. But we'll watch and see. We got a buy order block and a trap block, so pretty surprised if it doesn't try to push a little from those. Those usually are pretty accurate too. And that's where the confluence is going to come in, guys, you in the mentor group and VIP, because if you get this setup and then you get these trap blocks and Neo saying, hey, you break above here, like, I mean, that's like damn near surefire from there. Oh, look, it moved the trail up a little.
That's the triple whammy right there.
Yeah, see it move the trail? Now it's protecting $4. It's all auto, and I have the label, so you'll be able to watch the trail. Oh, dude, it was so good last night. It's almost gonna make it too easy. Oh yeah, sitting on your hands for sure. So we're growing a little strength back in there, rising momentum. Oh, steady. They're trying to defend it, that's for sure. It's interesting. What do you want to share for those watching that are still learning? When we get chopped like this, how do we determine which way it's going to break? Because this is where people get impatient. They just jump into trades, as you've explained. But what do they look for to give signs that one side is going to break over the other? I just want to show you guys how he can teach you if you have questions. Yeah, it's bouncing right off that level. So let's see where this goes. Let's see what Neo has to say, because we're just chopping right now.
Chop is basically the market's way of testing if you have a nervous tick. If you jump into this, you're just offering your capital as a sacrifice to the chop gods. To spot the real break, stop guessing and start looking for inefficiency, basically, where the market stops caring about the opposing side. If the bulls are actually going to kick in, they'll show it by stopping the lower lows, absorbing the selling pressure, and reclaiming and holding above the 30,210.07 resistance. If the bears are still the ones in charge, you'll see buyers run out of gas, failing to hold any reclaim attempt, and then price will snap right through the 30,168.50 bullish order block. Wait for the market to show its hand, don't try to read its palm. Want the trap setup that tells you a breakout is actually a fake out?
Look at this, guys. I just took the high-low. Where we're trapping or consolidating is right above the 50. Yeah, that would be great. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if we get this little hoorah expansion.
Here is the classic bulls get teased trap setup. The market loves to dip below that 30,190.07 gamma support to tickle the stops, so I would wait for price to dump below there, fail to hold, and then rip back above it. The long becomes worth considering only after that reclaim, with a 1-minute bullish candle close above the 30,205.50 trend line to prove the bears are actually giving up.
See the
The
trail
first
moved?
meaningful target is the 30,213.48 institutional resistance, and the setup is structurally toast if price confirms a close below the 30,165.25 order block low. Just remember, chasing a breakout into overhead resistance is how you become the liquidity, not the one collecting it.
That's crazy. So see how it's auto moving the trail, guys? It's securing 10 points. If it hits this whole thing, that's an 80-point move. That'd be great. It's done it a few times, actually, even this morning. But I love taking the guesswork out of the trailing, guys, and this is what I'm trying to do. And I'll put this one up just because we're almost done, 10:40. But this is what we're going to be using and testing and playing with for our afternoon session here with the Mentor VIP guys. But I just want to see how this plays out with you guys. That's what I'm kind of waiting on. See this time the difference with the push, half hold, close. That's what's getting us that deeper pull there. So the 215 is what it's got to clear for the real big push, though. So we got to 217. I want to see where it moves this trail at. But you think about it, look at, you guys will be up 30 points still. Anybody take this on the mentor group on it? I mean, I'm in mine anyways, just from laddering, but are you still trailing it? Are you following it? Okay, cool. Nita, I don't know if you've seen this if you're on, but I'll explain it in the afternoon. It's pretty sick the thought I had to put this together for you guys. Oh, good job, Shannon. Let's see if we hold. So we're just watching the strength now. So high, low, 50. Push, 50, push, close would jump. Let's keep watching. And then I like the labels next to it. And again, you can go in and adjust. So if you change the label size, I can make it a little bigger just for those of you guys watching. And it's not multi-time frame. It is taking calculations based on multi-time frame to choose entry. So no matter what time frame I go to, it will keep that trade. So it doesn't matter what time frame you're on. Which is really cool. But man, I will be really shocked if this doesn't go, just because you have the trap, which already kind of arguably is playing out. You got the trap indicator, the buy block indicator. I mean, we're trailing it. It's just that 215 that's got to break. I'm just curious if it hits the trail or if we get a full TP out of this one. That'd be a great first debut. And guys, like I said, the logic in this is very complicated, but I didn't really test it a bunch. I just kind of put it together. I had a thought on Sunday and I wanted to work on it. And it just happened to come together pretty well. So I want to test it. So I wasn't even planning on giving it to the mentor people, but I gave it to him because it was good enough. From last night and this morning, it won all of its trades but one. And so I figured I'd give it to him. And but we're gonna go through and test it and play with it and beat it up. But we're just kind of see how it's stopping below that 215. But we want to see strength. We do have a pull with a little parallel going on, so we don't want to see. I don't like that wick. Something like this. It should stay above that if it wants to keep going higher. Because if we break that, then it's gonna have another sweep. But we're in a pickle, you know, because anything above 89 is likely gonna go up. Below 215 is likely gonna go down. So good chance we get trailed down on this one. But look at it just trailed it higher again. So it just secured 16 points in profit. And look at it might still survive the trail. Crazy. Guys, and the calculation's pretty sick because you guys have to admit you've seen there was a few times it almost hit stop loss and then it didn't, ended up a full profit, and then there's a few times it almost hit trail and then shot up again and trailed again. And the look at it just trailed it up again. So now it's a 19 point locked. It's got a lot of variations of how why it trails, so let's watch it. I kind of want to see this play out first. I did not expect it to do as well as it's doing on the first pass, so that's good because that, as everybody knows, that means it's just going to get better. But we have a push, consolidation, breakout, retest of our high, push, breakout. I mean, it's pretty classic. There it goes. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool, huh, guys? I'm excited about it. Nice little first pass. I'll take it. I want to see how it trails this to see if it works, you know. I mean, so far, it's played out pretty good for a C setup. But that's what I love about it, guys, is, and this is what I'm teaching the mentor group to trade it, is the ones that are good, even if it's a C setup. I mean, if we get into it and you're in it, and then you begin to see trap stuff overlay under, I mean, that's just, I don't, at that point, I lay back and I'm excited. It's pretty sick, huh? Yeah. And so I'm gonna explain here, guys, if you want to stick around on TikTok a little more onto how I kind of the why I created this and kind of what I'm doing with it. I want to see where that trail shifts here. You guys still in it in the mentor group? Throw a thumbs up. I'm just curious. Or anybody else that's still in it? Following it? Good deal. Doesn't it take a little bit of the stress off? You just kind of, I mean, you got
Definitely.
your, yeah, you got the numbers. Just wait. The only way this works, though, guys, is if you let it. If it says stop out, you stop out. If it says trail, you trail. You gotta follow it. I'm in my mind still, anyways, from the way I've been doing my laddering and such. So I'm doing pretty good today. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. If I can get to 34, what's that top? 36? 34.75. Yeah, if I can get to 34.75, that'll clear out 2 of my accounts. And then this other one I have, those 2 are intraday still, so I gotta be a little more careful with them. But the other one that I'm doing, I'm playing with profit, so I can give it a little bit more wiggle room. And so once it hits the trail, it will take this whole box and it'll go away. And so if you are in the trade and you see the box go away and you didn't set a trail, you might want to close that trade because it's no longer a valid trade and it's going to look for a next one. You can also measure it by, see we're in a long, active, C setup. We have 54 strength, which is growing. As long as this is all green, it's still in good shape. So momentum is rising. We went from 54 to 58 on the strength, so it gives you a little validation. I want to see where, if it moves this trail here soon. Oh, there's a good push. Like it a lot. Hasn't moved the trail yet. I'm interested to see because again, you guys seen how I was kind of calling that trap setup play. If you take a trend line across, we actually broke it. Interesting. So we might get full TP on this. Oh, it just moved it. See that? So 212. But look at this, guys. You'd be up what 30 points already, even on a trail. I mean, literally takes the stress out of it because it's already a guaranteed trade. Now you just kind of sit back and watch it. I've already been shaving rungs. I just wanted it to get to the 34, which of course it went just shy of it. Jerk. It always does that, right? Or it does that just shy of it. This trap block is such a pain in the ass. We're retesting the 215. Let's see if it sweeps us out. Either way, 30-point trade, man. Take it. But I think this is going to help you guys with your discipline. There we go. We tapped it. And there it goes. It trailed you out. Take it. And if it jumps again, it jumps again. Who cares, right? You just still got to take the trade as it is. So, but I'm gonna mute that one again, guys. It's 10:53. I gotta jump at 11 to trade with those guys. If you're interested in joining the mentor group or the VIP, the mentor group, I think, I have to double check. So I still have like 2 people that have just not got back to me. So if you're one of those people, then you probably gonna get bumped here pretty soon. I was trying to hold on for you, but I can't hold forever. VIP, like I said, guys, we the good news is Neo is actively trading on a trade of 8, and so we are excited about that. I'm gonna spend some time this week really exploring through that. Let me show this real fast too, because it's kind of cool. See what it does here? It's showing it's predictive too. It's not just here to take your entry. So it's doing predictive. So see, potential B setup for a long, potential B setup for a short. And it will not lock it until it meets the qualification to lock it. And then it will tell you which one you're in. So it's actually being predictive, which is good, which is huge. That we have time to look at it, right, and decide. So, but if you guys are interested in joining the Mentor VIP, it's a first come first serve on the commit. Rick, I don't know if you're on here, Rick Reed. I'm gonna reach out to you today. But yeah, you guys can join in through the mentor programs right here, and then VIP as well. I get a lot of what is the difference. They're virtually identical for the most part as far as the intent and what you get of things. But the difference is the mentoring side, you get my phone number, one-on-ones, you get the private chat that we all talk in, we act like family in there. You get extra early access to things like this. So, they all already have it on their trading view to test it. So, the automation when Neo comes out, I will tell you this now. Again, I'm going to say it probably till the end of the month just because I don't want anybody going, dang. VIP price is going to probably go to 500. at the end of the month. So we're gonna change it. But when you're in VIP, once you're in any of our prices, we never raise them. That price is locked. And once that automated trading comes out, that's why we're gonna bump that. So, but the mentor price is gonna likely stay the same, just because, you know, that's based on the 50 people there. So, but yeah, if you guys end up joining the VIP, some people who have that TradeVision, you know, the 250, you think, you know, a little bit more on the month, but you're gonna get a lot more perks. Plus, you still get TradeVision, so you don't. When you have VIP, you don't pay for anything but the VIP part. So, plus you get to join in with the afternoon sessions, the morning sessions, things like that. So,